It felt great. I mean, I think just even the way we had to win to kind of get out of this rut. I mean, down 17-0 in the first half, and just had to overcome a lot. And it really took all phases. I think every part of our team made some huge plays. Offensively, made some big plays, big stops. Defensively, obviously, special teams did a great job. Ag in the return game, Riley making that kick at the end, all of that. I mean, every phase played a part, and I think that's what makes it great too. It's not like, the offense or the defense had to carry us for this one. It was just everybody playing together. Nobody panicked when we got in that hole early, and just it feels good to win one.
Doug's talked about the need to find a way to learn how to win and maybe even learn how not to lose. Do you think this can be like maybe a launching point for you guys or a spark of now we figured out how to win these close games?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's what you hope for, and I think that's something that we definitely learned, and I think more so kind of getting over that hump as far as just that feeling of being able to win this close games, and especially, like I said, being down 17-0 early. There was really no panic. No one. I mean, we knew we were going to win that game. We just had to, it was kind of go time at that point. At the end of the first half, put together a scoring drive on offense. Defense, we get the ball back. At the kind of the middle eight we talk about, end of the first half, beginning of the second half, get the ball back with 45 seconds and kick a field goal, and then come out and score first possession of the second half, and then from there, I mean, defense stoned them in the second half. So really just playing complementary ball. Obviously, not every play is going to go your way. There was plays today, both sides of the ball, that the other team made. We had a turnover early when we were driving in the red zone, and obviously you don't want that, and we'll learn from that one. But that's like stuff's going to happen in games, and you got to find ways to overcome them. And I think that was the coolest thing is we found ways to overcome them today. It's not like we played perfect, but we found a way to win. So.
What made you think when you're down 17-0, we're going to go win that game? Because teams with a 5-game losing streak down 17, that doesn't happen very often.
And just the belief. I think the whole energy this week. We kind of knew we had to go get this one this week. Obviously, you don't try to put more pressure on yourselves than you need to, but everybody knows that. Where we're at right now in our season, we really gotta turn this thing around and get some wins. So we felt that and just had a lot of confidence in our prep. And I know offensively, obviously, we didn't score the first 3 possessions, but I mean, honestly, it wasn't really anything they did that stopped us. We just kind of shot ourselves in the foot. And obviously, they made the play, but so we knew offensively once we could just eliminate some of those errors early and keep a drive going, we were going to be fine. We thought our plan was great, and you could see today everybody we were rolling, so it was awesome.
Trevor, talk about the work of the offensive line, because you look so comfortable back there today. They kept you clean for the most part.
Yeah.
Tell us about, was that the best game you've seen them play in front of you?
Shoot, they've played. I wouldn't necessarily say that just because there's been a lot of games this year where I think they've played great. Pretty much every game I feel like they've played good enough for us to win, and just pass game, run game, all those things. The guys up front, that's where it starts. Both sides of the ball. I mean, that's where the game's won, and obviously they had some really good players on the edges, and that was a challenge for us this week. And really just seeing those guys step up like they do every week was awesome to see. And it was great. I thought we handled it well. They're gonna, like I said, it's never gonna be perfect. That team is paid to play too, and they're gonna make plays. But just kind of battling through the adversity was awesome.
Trevor, over here. What does it say about your ability to bounce back? How important is that for a young quarterback? You didn't play as well as you wanted to last week, but then to come out and play the way you did today, how is that important for you, confidence, and then just development-wise?
Just a part of growing. Some of the guys in the field, some of the Raiders guys are like, man, why you got to get the ball out so fast? Like I've had to learn the hard way, So I've learned my lessons. That's still a lot more I'm going to learn in years to come and games to come. All those things. It's a growing experience, but I think just for my confidence, for the team's confidence, just for us to be able to bounce back as a whole and go and win this game, especially under the circumstances that we were in early. I think it says a lot about. Myself, but also just this whole team. We got a bunch of fighters and guys that aren't going to quit. And same thing, like I told you guys, when we started 2-1 and won those 2 games back to back, and we're playing great. It doesn't really matter what other people say. It's always about us, and that's what Coach has been saying to us. And obviously, we've had some ups and downs this season, but it's a long season. So, we're just looking forward to being able to, hopefully ride this momentum and use this juice this week. Obviously, we got a big game in Kansas City. Great challenge for us. So we'll enjoy it today, and we'll get back to work tomorrow.
Hey, Trevor, talking to Dewey in the locker room, he described it as everybody had to kind of surrender to what's going to happen. Not surrender like give up, but just surrender to things are going to happen and we have to react. Number one, do you agree with that assessment? Number two, for you as a quarterback, how difficult is that to be thinking of a million things, but also be like, okay, I'm going to take it as it goes?
Yeah, I mean, Dewey's been an awesome voice in our locker room. Some of the stuff he's shared with us has been really good, and he's right. I mean, this game, you can't play tight. You can't be worried about the next play. You can't be worried about what happened the last play. It's just that specific moment and doing that over and over again for the whole game. And I think that's what you saw today. You're not going to win every single moment, but if you can flip the page and go to the next one and forget the last one, that gives you the best shot to win. And I think our whole team did that today. Obviously, there's plays you're always going to leave out there, and you learn from those. But that's huge. Just not playing tight, playing loose, just being yourself. And I think most or all the guys did that today, so it was fun.
Have you felt like there's been moments leading up to today that maybe you yourself like played a little too tight, or maybe you didn't immediately go to the next page at times, and so maybe this was growth today?
Yeah, I think there's not always, but a lot of times there's plays, and there's a series of plays or a few plays that you string together where you feel like you might have been thinking about the last one, or you feel like you didn't move on quick enough from the last play, if it was a good play, bad play, whatever it was, and just trying to. That's what on the offense we talk about a lot, is just each play is its own play, and just moving on to the next one every time. That's what we talk about with the guys up front, and we kind of remind each other throughout the game, next play, next play. So, that's the key, and it's easier said than done, but you kind of saw today what it looks like when you're able to do that.
Trevor, how much does that work the other way? How much does that work the other way? I think you had 15 in a row at one time completions with the spike in there, so it probably doesn't get counted as 15 in a row. But did you know that? Do you feel that? Even though you're coming in and out series of different drives?
Feel the next play you're talking about?
Just feel the momentum that you have.
100%. I mean, the momentum is so big in this game, and it's real. Everyone can feel it that's in the stadium, and obviously had no momentum when they went up and scored a couple times, and we had to punt, had a turnover, whatever it was. And then when you flip that momentum and can keep it like we were able to do today, obviously that's huge. That plays a big part in this game. But just as far as managing your emotions when you're on the other side of that momentum, when they have it, how do you manage your emotions? How do you play each play as its own to kind of get out of that, whatever it is, whether it's a couple 3-and-outs, a couple bad plays, missed throws, whatever it is, it's just how do you manage the next play. And I think, myself, I feel like I did that well today, but I feel like our whole offense and the whole unit did it well, so it was great.
Do you think the early runs helped you?
Runs from myself, you're saying? I mean, that's just, each game's different. There's going to be times, there's going to be opportunities where I can use my legs, and today was one of those times, and just giving us some space. And there's a couple times where I dropped a bunch of guys out underneath and took some things away, and so just use my legs when I can. But I think, that's something I've talked about before. I like doing that. I like being able to affect the game that way when it's necessary, when it's needed, and I think it helped us today.
Just one more, Trevor. Just wondering, was there some validation too after the fumble on the first pitch play, then getting stopped on the second pitch play for Travis to score the go-ahead, what proved to be the go-ahead touchdown on another pitch play? Was there some validation for you guys on the pitch plays in particular, but also for Doug's play calling?
Yeah, it's the same message that I just mentioned. It's all about us. You look at those plays, and everyone can say this on every play, each team, but it really is. We control what happens, and there's all these plays, whether it's a TFL, it's a fumble. I mean, we control that, and it's something where someone missed an assignment, didn't make the play, whatever, not a great pitch to Hasty on the one. That's all stuff that we can control, and the same thing in the positive way when you kind of make the flip and you start playing really well, and it just shows the coaching staff how they trust us, and didn't let any of that affect the game. We just kept playing. I don't think we never shelled up and kind of got conservative and tried to get out. We just kept playing, and I think that was really cool to see, and I know the guys are fired up. So,
Thanks, y'all.
awesome. Thank you all.